Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. I got to tell you in advance, I am not a happy camper. I'm going to tell you all about it in just a second. No, I'm not a happy camper. I am Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, the owner of Big Chief RV Resort here in Central Texas. And today on Be a Better Camper, it's agonizingly frustrating for me to get ready to tell you the story. While the story you're about to hear is about what happened to me, it happens at campgrounds all over our beautiful country. And it's just sad to see what people are willing to do and their lack of caring for others and lack of responsibility. So, all right, so here's the deal. We are always on the lookout for good work campers. You know, somebody that can work the groundskeeper, help clean up the bathrooms, pick up the trash, just make the place look nice and keep it nice and clean and neat. And we're always looking for people that want to have a job like that. We ran an ad recently and had several people respond. The best person looked beautiful on paper. I mean, is a woman. She had been here 4 or 5 different times to Big Chief. And I never spoke with her. I didn't know who she was. My wife, Lisa, she contacted her and said, you know, she is gung-ho and sounds like she's ready to go. I said, well, that's great. So she's going to come in and I'm going to do an interview with her on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Important. All right. So she lives in a motorhome. She comes into the motorhome on Saturday. She meaning the lady that wants to apply for the job. And I said, don't bug her. Let her get situated. Let her get settled in. And I will have the meeting at 10 a.m. So I'm down in my cabin, writing as usual, reading. And my dogs start barking. And I looked out the window, and there's a lady walking, black lab, big black lab. No big deal. And I'm going, you know what? I wonder if that could that be the lady that I'm going to be interviewing tomorrow? I bet it is. I didn't see her all weekend. I bet you that's her. And I said, oh my God, please no, please no. And I looked, and the dog's doing its circle and squats and poops. Well, that's not the big deal. The big deal was she, meaning the owner, has a long leash and she's standing there looking the other way. And then when the dog finishes, she walks over to the pile that the dog left and she stands there and looks down at it, and just walks away. I said, please no. Please tell me that you forgot your plastic bag. Please tell me that you have enough respect for the campground, respect for other people. For God's sake, you've got a job interview tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute. I have a security camera over my cabin. We have them around the campground. So I waited 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm waiting for this woman to show back up, showing me, there was nobody around. You know, like they say, your true character shows with what you do when nobody else is watching. Well, this lady's true character showed, and she never did show back up. So I went outside with my plastic bag. I did a little stand up. Here's just a piece of that stand up. And this was shot right after the dog pooped and the day before I'm supposed to do the job interview. So I'm here on Sunset Point. Anybody that's been to Big Chief knows Sunset Point. There's beautiful Lake Buchanan. And I'm going over here. See, we've got security cameras all over the place here. And I've got one right there pointed over in this direction. And I said, where was she? And look what she and her Labrador, her lab did. And she just left it here. And I've been waiting for about, I've been waiting for about 20 minutes, hoping that she forgot a bag, hoping she's embarrassed, hoping something called a conscience would trigger something. I have an interview with her tomorrow morning. She doesn't know that I know this. She doesn't know. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to not say a word about it. I'm going to ask her about responsibility and how she cares for things and about her dogs, if she'd be able to enforce the rules. You know, we don't have a lot of them, but we try to enforce them to make sure people don't step in friggin' landmines like that. I'm going to give her, oh, I know, call me evil. It just infuriates me to think what kind of human being would apply for a job, would come and apply for a job. She looks perfect on paper. And then right in front of the owner's cabin, let her dog take a giant big dirty and leave it. Who would think that's okay? I mean, if you think that's okay and I'm being too picky, I'm sorry. We're probably not a very good match, but I'm telling you what I'm talking about happens at campgrounds all over this great country, all over the place. Good people, nice people, but something goes wrong in their head. So that's what happened. And I'm going, okay, what do I need to do? First off, this person is not going to work here at Big Chief. There's no way I'm going to allow somebody like that to be an employee of mine. If they are not mindful enough and thoughtful enough of other people, of their employer, what are they going to be like on day 2 or day 3 or 30 days later? This is not going to be a good fit. I don't want to be ugly, but I don't want to be, and I will not be a wimp. I am not gutless, and I encourage everybody. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but today when you see somebody doing something that's wrong, it is wrong. It makes us all look bad. Please don't be gutless. Please don't just go to Facebook and go, the person is staying inside 43. I wish you'd turn your lights out. That's a coward's way of handling it. I know I've been a coward too, and sometimes it's difficult to not be gutless, but don't be gutless. You don't have to be ugly either. So I thought, what am I going to do with this lady? So the next morning, and yes, I recorded it. I did. The next morning, she comes in and meet her for the first time. I asked her what her background was, and she was nice enough, but I knew where this was going. Where it was going was she's not going to work for me. And I was trying to give her some advice on hopefully there's a takeaway, a lesson, even though it's a painful lesson. So we were talking, and I asked her about how would you handle things if you saw children, misbehaving, doing things that were, not right, against the campground rules. And she told me her answer. Sound good? I said, what about adults? What would you do? How would you approach an adult if an adult had a situation, was being loud, drunk, rude, obnoxious, whatever, not following campground rules? How would you approach it? Would you be a coward? Would you be in their face? Well, how would you do it? Would you let somebody else do it for you? Or, oh, no, I'd approach them. And so I'm thinking, okay. I said, well, can you tell me what you'd do if you saw something like this? And I handed her my phone. And she looked down at the phone, at the video, and she said, what's that? I said, you know what that is? That's you, isn't that you? Yes, that's me. Time out. At that moment when she went, yeah, what is the best thing she could have done? I'll tell you what I think the best thing she could have done is, oh my God, I am so sorry. I don't deserve to work here. I don't deserve it, and I will never let that happen again. That's what I think a responsible person would do, an adult. Hopefully, I think I'd be that adult if something like that, if I was that lazy. But no, she didn't do that. You know what she said? It's somebody with a big black lab pooping out there on Sunset Point last night.
Yes.
Is that you?
Yes, that is me. And I was going to come back and get that.
Well, see, that's not going to work.
Okay.
And I can't have you working here because you didn't come back. I didn't want to see this. I'm not Gladys Kravitz that looks through the windows and says, there's one over there.
Well, I just arrived. I was in the woods. I was going to do it this morning, actually, after it dried. I'm having some issues with my water over here.
Okay, well.
If you don't understand that I was going to come back and I was going to...
I don't understand.
If you're going to take that little bitty thing...
But
I can go to any state park or what have you. I just didn't have it with me, and I noticed that y'all's dog parks aren't furnished with plastic.
Well, it's
Okay, I looked for the plastic, actually.
Great.
I looked along the way.
Have you been here 4 or 5 times then?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever seen the bags out there?
Well, it's been a while since I've been here, but there's a place for them. It's just a minor little poop incident. She blamed it on everything else except the person that was responsible for it. And that's what kills me as a business owner, as a human being. Have we lost all sense of our personal responsibility? I hope not. And this woman was blaming, we didn't have any bags. And last time I was here, you didn't have any bags. Ma'am, you said you've been here 4 or 5 times.
You're a camper. You're a full-time RVer. Do you just leave that for people? Is that okay? Well, I was going to pick it up. I said, well, when were you going to pick it up? She said, today. So, well, you don't need to pick it up. I picked it up yesterday, 30 minutes after you left. I was saying my prayers, please, God, have her show back up. Show enough caring for other human beings. My God, it's a place called Sunset Point. It's the most, everybody goes out there. It's the prettiest place at Big Chief. And people go there to take their sunset pictures. And the last thing somebody wants to do is step in a big pile of dog crap. She's not the only one that does this. Too many people do this. And my message, she was very upset, by the way, very upset. She texted afterwards, I can't believe one little thing like that, and you wouldn't allow me to work here. I can't believe it. I said, well, it's not a good fit. You're going to have to go. I'm sorry. I hope you're embarrassed, ma'am. She said, well, I've been approved to work at the state park. And I said, good, that's good. Seriously, that's good, but you're not going to work here. The message is, wherever you go camping, I don't care if it's a private campground, if it's the BLM land, if it's your boondocking out west, if it's your neighbor's place, try to leave it better than you found it. I'm not trying to sound like a whiner, but like I began this video, it's very, very frustrating. We, campground owners, their staff, we are here to help you have a better experience, but you have to help us. Because there's other campers out there that they don't want to have to deal with, dog poop and people cutting through their sites and all the different things that we hear. The purpose of these Be a Camper, a Better Camper videos is to try to get people to think, stop. Because I promise, I sometimes don't think. I know I am a very flawed person. I interrupt too much. I'm very passionate. But I think at the same time, I try to take a deep breath and go, what's the right approach here? The right approach is not just leave a steaming pile of dog crap for somebody else to pick up or somebody else. Well, they got people, they pay people for that. It's sad, isn't it? At least it is to me. Not trying to be a whiner, not trying to be a complainer. I am trying to point out to be a better camper, we have to accept that thing called responsibility. All of us. When you come to my campground, you come to anybody's campground, you come to the National Forest, it is somebody else's place. It's not your place. This isn't just my place. It's everybody's place. And we owe it to everybody to be on our best behavior. Yes, I'm worked up. I'm pissed off. And I wish it wasn't that way because I need good work campers. I do. But more importantly than being able to pick up trash in a plastic water bottle and how you doing, you got to have a good heart. Got to be a decent human being, not a perfect one, just a decent one. So, I told you I was a little bit disgusted, a little bit down. I'll be better, promise. I bounce back quickly. But it's things like this that cause campgrounds to have to enforce rules that we don't want to enforce. When I was a little kid, I was taught by my parents to try to leave it better than you found it. Be respectful of other human beings. And it's not just young people that are disrespectful. There's plenty of us old folks that are disrespectful too. So please just think. Do your very, very best to be a better camper. It will be good for you. It will be good for your family, for your neighboring campers. It will be good for the campground. It's good for campers in general. So do your very best. I want to remind you that I do a weekly live stream in addition to a radio show. I do a radio show called the RV Show USA, syndicated nationwide on radio stations all over the country. And then every Wednesday, starting at 7 p.m. Central, we do a live stream there. It's different from the radio show where we have guests and we have a lot of fun. So we hope that you will subscribe to this video, maybe give it a thumbs up, share it on your timeline, share it with other people that care. And I guess I'll save any more. I've got a message for some of the haters out there that are going, and you know who you are. And that message is coming up soon. Haters are going to hate. The ones that aren't haters, it's hard to ignore them. You can get more information on our show and some of our Facebook groups as well and learn all about us at thervshowusa.com. Until next time, I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. And make sure you read the campground rules and respect them. Bye-bye, everybody.